Okay, so good morning, dear students. Hope my voice is audible to all of you.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning, ma'am.
Okay, good
Yes, ma'am.
morning. Good morning. So, as this is our first lecture, first I would like to welcome you all in your second semester FY BTech. Academic year is 2021, and of course, we are going to deal with engineering physics course. I am Dr. Aarti Dinkar Rao Rushi. I'm your engineering physics teacher, and at the same time, I'm your class teacher. So, in previous semester, Rashmi Madam was the class teacher. For this semester, I will be with all of you as a class teacher and engineering physics course teacher. My details are provided on the screen. Already, you people might be having my WhatsApp number. Then one more number is there if you want to have some communication, and my official email ID is also provided on the screen. Okay. So as I said, this engineering physics course we are going to deal with, and before proceeding towards the contents of this course, I would like to ask you people, that is what is physics, and basically what is the reason or why this particular course is provided in your curriculum, because you people are engineering students. Of course, all of you are having computer science as your particular program. So while studying that particular program, or while studying the computer science engineering, why there is need to learn physics at this level? Already in 12th or before 12th, you people have understood the physics, various physics concepts. You have learned so many laws related to physics. Then at this moment of time, what is the reason that this particular course is included in your curriculum? So I want answers from you people. Anyone?
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, physics means the science which attempts to describe how nature works
Okay.
using mathematical language and machine language.
Okay. Good answer. And why to have this course at this level?
Ma'am, to understand means like an example I gave that moving bike.
Okay.
तो अंडरस्टैंड करने के लिए मतलब वो कितने स्पीड से चल रही है और कितना डिस्टेंस कवर करेगी, उसके लिए फिजिक्स लगेगा. मैं जब भी किसी बस को देखती हूँ तो मैं सोचती हूँ फिजिक्स है, मतलब हमेशा फिजिक्स ही याद आता है वैसा.
Okay. Okay. Any other student want to say something? Any other students? Pranali?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, physics is the like fundamental constituents which is interacting in the universe.
Okay. And why to learn this course?
Because we have to need to all universe which react each other knowledge.
Okay. Okay. So good. Basically, physics is broadly we can say it is one branch of science. This definition you might have seen at the time of 11th. Okay, so
Yes.
in engineer, whenever that physics course started, so the first point is given, it is nothing but the branch of science. Okay, like physics there are many other branches, that is not point of our concern. And in physics basically what we study various concepts, various things that are around ourselves. Like one thing that is nothing but say light. So how the light propagates, what is the importance of light in our life, that concepts you might have seen. Then another thing, sound. I am saying something and you people can hear that sound, that is nothing but the that involves the physics of sound. Okay, so like this there are various kinds of concepts that can be studied under this particular course, physics. Now another question that I have asked, why to study this particular course at this moment of time? Already you people have studied in your 11th and 12th this particular course, that is physics course. Now in engineering physics what we are going to do, we are going to touch different branches of that physics. Like what I have said, physics is nothing but the branch of science. Again in physics there are various kinds of branches. Okay, so through this engineering physics course we are going to introduce, we are going to see the basic concepts of that various branches, so that what will happen whenever you will proceed with your engineering, the basic concepts from physics you can apply for your various kinds of projects. Like you people are having projects at the level of third year and fourth year. So while going with various kinds of experimentation, while having some kinds of projects, some basic knowledge from this physics course is of high importance, and that you will get if you study this particular course, engineering physics course. Now in this lecture first we will understand what are the different topics that we are going to see through this particular course, and how will be the examination system. Already you people have completed your part 1, so you are aware with that, all that facts, but again I'll have some revision of that, and then we will move towards our first unit. Okay, so that will be the outline for this particular course. Now as this course is there in your syllabus, so of course the planning is done, and that planning is done by considering some objectives. So for engineering physics course, the course objectives are like this. The first objective states that to study physical properties, concept, physical quantities that are required for the solution of complex engineering problems. So whenever you will deal with some kinds of problems, so with the help of knowledge of physics you can solve or you can provide the solution. Okay, so how that you are going to see. Then another objective states that why to study this course, to learn basic principles of physics and laws of scientific investigation to identify, formulate and analyze complex engineering problems. Okay, and the last course objective states that to gain competency in engineering career by understanding the engineering applications of physics. Okay, so basically we are going to learn this course in order to solve the engineering problems, and for that what we are going to do in this course, we are going to see different concepts and what are their applications that are required for engineers, that we will understand with the help of this course. Okay, so what are the objectives that we have seen up to this time? Now how to achieve that objectives, that we are going to see now. As you people are aware, this particular engineering physics course is of 100 marks, and already you people know how that 100 marks are distributed. We know there is a 60-40 pattern for this particular course, and 60 marks are there for end semester examination. Like in part 1 you have given the end semester examination of 4 courses, So like this, after at the end of second semester, you people are having end semester examination of this engineering physics course. Then another 40 marks that you can see, that 40 marks are divided into 3 categories. 15 marks will be there for mid semester examination, then 15 mark another mid semester examination, and 10 marks are there for the teacher assessment. The teacher assessment is based upon certain terms. That terms are: first, your theory attendance will carry some amount of marks. If your theory attendance is greater than 90%, then you will get 2 marks out of that 10. And if the attendance is in between 75 to 89, you will get 1 mark out of that 10. Okay. Next, this is related to the 2 marks of teacher assessment. Then your general discipline and responsiveness in the classroom, that will give you 2 marks. Like it is my habit, you can say, that while conducting lecture, I want to talk less. I want high amount of response from you people. So how you people give the response, like in whatever discussion we have done up to this point, I have seen the response from Prachi and Pranali. So after every lecture, I note down who are the students who have given the response, and depending upon that, 2 marks are distributed. Okay, so your response is of high importance in engineering physics course. Okay. Next to that, you can see here we have covered 2 marks. Then 2 marks are for the general discipline, and the rest of the 6 marks, they are there for the formative assessment. Formative assessment means the assessment that are carried while conducting the lectures. Okay. So that 6 marks we are going to divide with 3 assignments, 3 formative assessment. One assessment will be the assignment, another will be the quiz, and third will be the presentation from you people. Okay, so if you want to note down, you can note down. For unit number 1 and 2, we are going to have theoretical assignment. Basically, the unit number 1 and 2 that you are having in engineering physics course, they carry high amount of formulae, and based upon that formulas, we are going to have some kinds of numerical questions. So based upon that numerical questions, we will have the assignment for unit number 1 and 2, and that will be the formative assessment for that 2 units. Next to that, unit number 3, 4, we are going to conduct some quizzes. So the quiz, the response in that quiz will be given for the teacher assessment. And then for unit number 5 and 6, we will have the presentation from you people. You have to prepare the presentation. You are going to deliver that in the particular slot, and whatever will be the evaluation, that will be again added to the teacher assessment. So like this, by having the proper theory attendance, by having the responsiveness in the classroom, and by submitting that 3 formative assessment, you can achieve out of marks in the teacher assessment. Already for part 1, the teacher assessment of all your courses is provided to the university. So again, here also in this semester also same will be done. Okay, so is there any doubt up to this teacher assessment?
Ma'am, there won't be any Viva?
Of course, Viva will be there, but that is the part of term work. Okay, so next point I am going to talk about that. Okay, so like other courses, this engineering physics course, whatever are the contents, they are divided into 2 sections, section A and section B. So in section A there will be 3 units, and in section B you can see rest of the 3 units are provided. Okay, so first we will discuss about the theory syllabus, and the question that you have asked right now, that what about the Viva. So that is the part of term work that we will see after the theory portion. Okay, so the first unit that you are having in your syllabus is the optics. So have you heard this particular term, optics, before this lecture?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes. So
Yes,
what is
ma'am.
optics?
Ma'am, it is mainly based on a concave and a convex surface.
Okay. Any other information
Ma'am,
related to
studies
optics?
about light.
Study about light. Okay, as I said, engineering physics, or sorry, physics course is a broader term. Under physics there are various sub branches. So one of the branch of physics is nothing but the optics, and basically in optics what we do, what we study the light, the nature of light, the concepts that are evolved in light, and basically light interaction with various kinds of matter. Okay, so that is the basically the term optics and the contents of the optics. Now already I think in 12th there is one unit, wave optics. Okay, so in that wave optics you might have seen certain phenomenons of light interaction. In this particular chapter we are going to deal with three basic concepts, and that concepts are nothing but, I'm going to show you some pictures. Through that pictures you have to understand what will be the concept. One picture is provided on the screen, so what you can say from that figure, what will be the concept?
Wave format, ma'am.
Okay,
Ma'am, reflection.
Reflection.
Okay, is there any other answer?
Ma'am, interference.
Ma'am, intensity of light at a particular point.
Okay, one girl student was saying something.
Ma'am, interference.
Okay, interference. Okay, the answer is interference. Basically here whatever you can see, this particular thing, that is nothing but the interference pattern. Alternate dark and bright band arrangement is shown over there. So interference is one optical phenomenon that we are going to understand with our first unit, that is nothing but the optics. Next, another picture. Already one term is provided with the picture, so through that term you can say what will be this.
Ma'am,
It is different.
diffraction, ma'am.
Yes.
Diffraction.
Like interference, there is another phenomenon of light, that is nothing but diffraction. So in unit 1, after the interference, we are going to see what is diffraction, how one can achieve diffraction, and basically while studying this course, with each and every point you are going to see one term, that is nothing but the application. Like in interference, after having a discussion on some basic concepts, we are going to see where we can apply the knowledge of interference. So same will be for diffraction. We are going to see what is diffraction, how to achieve the diffraction, and what are the areas where we can apply the knowledge of diffraction. So application will be the important part for each and every point that we are going to deal with. Okay, the last thing,
Polarization.
polarization. Okay, so in optics unit we are going to understand interference, diffraction, polarization, basic concepts of all these three phenomenon, and next to that we have to see what are the applications of these terms that are evolved with the optics. Okay, so application is the important part. Then the second unit that we are going to deal with is having the title acoustics. So can you people say what is acoustics? I think through image it will be more clear.
Sound, ma'am.
Yes, it is related to sound. So basically acoustics is the another branch of physics which deals with sound waves, and in our unit number 2 we are going to have discussion on two topics. One will be the audible range sound waves, and in that we have to see some defects due to the sound interaction, that are nothing but the reverberation and echo. Next to that,
Excuse me, ma'am.
yes,
Ma'am, it is same will be like Doppler effect, na?
yeah, Doppler effect is related to the reflection of sound. So that concept also, not Doppler effect, we are going to see the sonar effect. So sonar and Doppler both are similar to each other. Okay, So acoustics deals with that kind of interaction where there will be reflection of sound, there will be absorption of sound. So how that thing happens, what are the application of that things, and basically the most important part that we are going to see, the defects due to the sound interaction. Okay, so that will be the first section of acoustics unit. And another section is there which deals with the ultrasonic sound waves. Like you people might be knowing that depending upon the frequency, sound waves are divided into 3 categories: infrasonic sound waves, audible range sound waves, and ultrasonic sound waves. So here in this chapter we are going to see what are the ultrasonic sound waves, how to produce ultrasonics, and where we can apply these ultrasonic sound waves for the betterment of mankind. Okay, so that will be the syllabus for the unit number 3. Do you want to say something up to this, or if you are having any doubt up to this, you can ask. If not, we will
No, ma'am.
Okay, we will move towards the next point, unit number 3. So unit number 3 is related to the crystal structure and X-rays. It is the, you can say, core physics kind of concepts will be there with respect to this chapter. Like here, basically the branch of physics that comes into picture is nothing but solid state physics or condensed matter physics. Okay, so condensed matter physics is the sub branch of physics which deals with various kinds of solid materials. So how solid are formed, what are the differentiation of solid materials, then how solid forms, what are the types of solid formation. So that we are going to understand with unit number 3. So crystal structure we are going to see in this unit. And to understand any kind of crystal structure, basically in physics we are having one tool. That tool is nothing but the X-rays. Okay, so with the help of X-rays we can determine the crystal structure of any material. Like you people have seen the NaCl crystal structure or diamond crystal structure, or various kinds of crystal structure, or graphite crystal structure in the 12th. So how one can get that kind of structure, that we are going to understand through this particular unit. Okay, and the system that is used for determination of crystal structure is known as X-ray diffraction. So with the help of X-rays, or by having the diffraction with the help of X-rays, one can determine crystal structure. So in this unit, first we will understand basic concept with respect to crystal structure, how the crystal structure is formed, what are the various forms of crystal structure, and in next part we are going to see what are the X-rays, how one can determine the crystal structure with the help of X-rays, and different methods involved in that. Okay, so that will be the syllabus for unit number 3. So determination of crystal structures with the help of X-ray diffraction. So on slide you can see one picture. So that kind of arrangement is required to get the crystal structure of any material with the help of X-rays. So that we are going to see. Then the 4th unit that we are having in our curriculum is the nuclear physics and modern physics. So again, these two are two different branches of physics. In nuclear physics, basically nuclear interaction or a study of nuclear particles is done basically. So can you people give me the answer, what are the nuclear particles? What are the particles that are termed as nuclear particles? Or nucleon is another
elements.
name. Yes?
Radioactive elements are termed as nuclear particles.
Okay. Okay. Nucleon is one concept. So who will tell what are the nucleons?
Miss, may I?
Yes?
Ma'am, nucleons are the protons, means the protons and neutrons together are called as nucleons.
Yes. Protons and neutrons, they are the nucleons. And basically in nuclear physics, we understand their properties and basically their interactions with various kinds of elements. Like one student has given the answer radioactive elements. So what happens with radioactive elements, how the radioactivity comes into picture. So the answer will be through interaction with these nucleons. When that nucleons interact with each other or interact with external elements, we will see the radioactivity, and that is the concept that we are going to see in this nuclear physics course. Here we have to understand two basic nuclear reactions. That reactions are nuclear fission and nuclear fusion. Okay, so what is nuclear fission, nuclear fusion, and related concepts that we are going to understand with nuclear physics course or nuclear physics chapter. Next to that, we have to understand nuclear energy, how one can generate nuclear energy, and what are the applications of that nuclear energy, and one concept, that is radioactivity. If radioactive material is there, then what amount of radioactivity gets generated from that material. So that can be understood with the help of some devices. So one of the device, that is nothing but GM counter, that is the part of our unit number 4. So all these concepts we are going to understand with nuclear physics chapter. Okay, next to that, another section of unit number 4 is modern physics. In modern physics, we have to understand the wave particle duality of the material. Next to that, the scientist de Broglie has given the hypothesis related to that. So what is that hypothesis? Then the experimentation proof of the wave particle duality that we are going to understand in modern physics, and the further concepts, applications of this modern physics in our day-to-day life. So what are that applications, what are the concepts involved in that we are going to see in unit number 4. So nuclear physics is one part of unit 4 and another part is modern physics. Okay. Then in unit number 5 we are going to touch 4 different concepts or 4 different branches of physics course. One is semiconductors. So what are the semiconductors, what are the classification of semiconductor, and application of course of semiconductor, that we are going to see in unit number 5. Next to that, there is one important area of physics which is having high-end applications right now, is nothing but the nanotechnology. So what is nanotechnology? What are the different kinds of nanomaterials, and of course properties of that nanomaterials and applications we are going to see in unit number 5. Then superconductivity is another area that we are going to touch in this unit number 5. So what are the superconducting materials, how the superconductivity is achieved, and of course applications of superconductivity we are going to see over here. And at last there will be the portion of magnetic materials, different kinds of magnetic materials, how they possesses the property of magnetism, where we can use or where we can apply the application, or where we can have the application of these materials, that we are going to see through this unit number 5. So basically unit number 5, you can see it is a very huge, it is having very huge concepts. 4 different parameters we are going to understand through this particular unit. And the last unit, as you know, there will be the 6 units. So up to 5 we have seen. The 6th unit is very interesting and very easy, one can say. 2 concepts that we are going to understand with the help of unit number 6, and that are nothing but the fiber optic cable or fiber optics, and another will be the lasers. Okay, so introduction of these 2 terms, and then the classification of these 2 terms and application of these 2 terms will be the syllabus for unit number 6. So very easy and very interesting topic, one can say, the unit number 6, and of course high amount of score you can get with the help of unit number 6. So this is the syllabus for engineering physics course. If you are having doubt, then you can ask. Otherwise, we will go towards the next point. Is there any doubt up to this?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So the theory syllabus we have seen. You can take a screenshot of this particular page. These are the references that you people can use, or I generally use while dealing with this particular course. So 2 textbooks are provided. Like these are the 2 books where you can get your entire syllabus. The textbook of engineering physics by Shirsagar and textbook of engineering physics by Gaur Gupta. Like right now you people are at your home, but if you visit the college in person, then in the library you will get several copies of these 2 books. Next to that, if you are having more interest in physics, then I'll suggest that this 3rd book, that is Fundamentals of Physics by Rajni Khalide, you can have the personal copy of that book with you. Okay, so this is very interesting book. Various day-to-day events and their correlation with physics is provided in that book. So that is a very interesting book. Then if you are having some interest in X-ray diffraction, you want to study that concept in more detail, then the book is provided here. Then same is for nuclear physics, solid state physics, and lasers and non-linear optics. Okay, but basically if you want to have only textbook, then the first 2 books are more than enough for you. Okay, then another part, like whatever we have discussed up to this, that is the part of theory contents of engineering physics course. Also engineering physics course is having the term work, or it is having the practicals. Okay, so whatever things that we are going to do with engineering physics practical, so that are responsible to give you 25 marks of the term work. Okay, at the end of term, of course, there will be the submission, and through that submission the 25 marks are allotted to each and every students, and how to achieve that marks, that we are going to see now. Okay, so this is the format that generally we people follow, means your teachers follow, while submitting the term work to the university or to the college. So what is in that? So there will be the theory attendance, whatever is the theory attendance, that theory attendance is converted into marks, and that marks are allotted while having the term work. Next to that, the practical attendance is also having some kinds of importance in the term work, so that will be there. Next to that, what is your practical performance, that is evaluated. So this is the most important part. Again, while evaluating the practical performance, what will be the procedure? I'll give you the instruction. Based upon that instruction, you people are going to perform the practical, and after that there will be a viva voce examination. Okay, so through that 3 steps, I'll evaluate your practical performance, and that marks are added to the term work. Okay, so like this, based upon these 3 categories, your term work mark will be decided. Like here you can see the 30 marks are there. Now that 30 marks are scaled down to the 25, and you will get the term work related marks through this. Okay, so here you can see one list is provided on the screen. That list is related to your engineering physics practical experiment. Like the most important thing is, like right now lockdown is there and you people are at your home. If you visit the college, means if lockdown gets over, of course you can have the actual experimentation on these experiments. But if not, we are going to have some virtual practicals. So based upon that performance, we are going to evaluate your practical performance. So the list you can see, whatever are the theory concept, based upon that only you people are going to have the practicals. Like here you can see the first practical is shown is Zener diode. So we are going to study the semiconductors So as a part of semiconductor, Zener diode is provided in the experiment. Next, here you can see the grating to determine wavelength of laser. Already we have seen the laser is the part of unit number 6. So based upon the concept of laser, and again in this practical there will be another concept, that is nothing but the concept of diffraction. So with the help of diffraction concept, you can study the experiment number 2. Next to that, there is a third experiment, which is nothing but the Newton's ring experiment. So this Newton's ring experiment is based upon the concept of interference. So after learning the interference in theory course, you can perform the practical on the Newton ring, and like this, whatever are the concepts that you have learned in theory, you can have the practical applications or practical verification of that concepts. Okay, so like this your syllabus is designed. Each and every practical is having some correlation with the theory contents. Okay, what are the detailed discussion, of course, we are going to do while having the experiment sessions. Okay, basically you people might have heard about these 3 words: cognitive, affective and psychomotor. So I think while having the induction program also, Toksha sir has delivered the lecture on these concepts. So while evaluating your experimental knowledge or experimental performance, the viva that I am going to take, that will be based upon these 3 concepts. Three domains are there of the skills, that are nothing but the cognitive domain, affective domain and psychomotor domain. So cognitive is related to the knowledge. So your knowledge with respect to that course or that experiment is evaluated in the cognitive domain. Then affective domain is related to the responding, that you can see on the screen. So how you give the response to the instruction that are delivered to you while having the experiments. Okay, so that is evaluated over here. And third term that is provided here is the psychomotor. Psychomotor is related to the manipulation, or one is the precision. So how you can manipulate the result, how you can have the alternation in the experiment through your knowledge, that is one key point that is evaluated while having the viva. So with respect to each and every practical, there will be some cognitive domain related knowledge, some affective domains are involved and some psychomotor domains are involved. Now while hearing these things from my side, you people might have some confusion. So that confusion will get minimized when you will see your practical lab manual. Okay, so in practical lab manual, it is clearly written for each and every experiment what are the points that you have to answer with respect to cognitive domain, with respect to affective domain and with respect to psychomotor domain. So that the detailed discussion we will do tomorrow in the practical session. Okay. Basically viva will be based upon that 3 concepts. This particular image you will again see in the practical lab manual, so you can have the detailed study of this particular table. Then the most important thing, the curriculum that we handle is based upon or it is having the motto of outcome based education. Basically very soon we people are going to face one committee, that is nothing but the NBA committee. In your first semester you might have heard these words NBA or course outcome and outcome based education. So can you people share what knowledge you are having with respect to these terms? What is NBA? That I would like to ask you at first. Have you heard the word NBA?
Yes, ma'am.
So what is that thing? Okay, NBA is one accreditation agency uh, the full form will be National Board of Accreditation. Now accreditation means for you people, while having any course, generally teachers conduct your viva. Teachers checks your performance in that particular course, and depending upon that you will get certain amount of marks. So that is for student category. Now for institute category, there are several committees. That committees visit to the institute, they evaluate certain things of the institute, and depending upon that some marks are allotted to the institute. Now why to have such kind of evaluation? You can again compare that things with your case, like why you study particular course, why you achieve certain amount of marks. That is for your future benefit. If you are having good grades at this moment at your 12th or at your graduation, of course that is going to give you some benefit in your career. So like this, for each and every institute, such kind of accreditation is of high importance. One accreditation agency is NAC. So NAC is the popular term with respect to any science college or arts college or engineering college. So like NAC, for professional colleges there will be a NBA, National Board of Accreditation. So the central committee or the committee at the national level visit the institute, and it checks the performance of the institute based upon certain factors. So several factors are there, and basically the main motto of that NBA agency is to impart outcome based education in the system. Okay, now outcome based education means what? It is earlier whatever are the institute, whatever was the curriculum that was related to teacher centric, or that was teacher centric curriculum. But right now such kind of agencies like NBA, they want to have student centric approaches in each and every university or the institute. Like what you people are going to get while completing the curriculum, while completing the course, that is evaluated by the committee of NBA. Okay, so that's why in part first also you might have seen each and every course teacher in their first lecture gives you certain amounts of COs. In your MSc maybe there will be the evaluation based upon the COs. So course outcome is the thing that you people achieve after completing this particular course. Okay, so you have learned, say in part first you have learned chemistry course. So after completing the engineering chemistry, what you people have achieved, that is evaluated with the help of your performance and the certain criteria set by the institute. So that is evaluated by the NBA course or NBA committee. So for each and every course, as I said, certain outcomes are there. So for engineering course, the outcomes are as follows. Basically, as said by NBA, for each and every course there will be the 5 to 6 course outcomes. So for engineering physics course, you can see there are 6 outcomes, and that are termed with CO1, CO2, CO3, CO4, CO5 and CO6. Okay, and again in that 6 statements you will see that first 4 points are related to the theory course, and the course outcome number 5 and 6 that are related to the practical course. Okay, so we will read each and every sentence one by one. Okay, so CO1 says after completing this course, what you people will gain? You will gain or you can recall the basics of optics, sound and modern physics. Like up to this point we have discussed the theory portion, and in theory portion what we have seen, the entire syllabus we can divide into 3 categories. One is the optics, another one is sound, and whatever rest part is there, that is termed under the modern physics. Okay, so after completing this course, means when you will go to the second year, of course if one asks you what is the interference, that you can recall very easily. You can give the definition of say interference or diffraction or polarization very easily. So that means you have achieved the course outcome number 1. Okay. Next to that, the second CO states that after completing this course, you people can explain various phenomena that are involved in optics, sound and modern physics. Next to that, third CO says after completing this course, you people can solve various numericals based upon these 3 categories of physics. Okay, like course objectives we have stated. Why we are learning this course? To solve the new complex engineering problems. So that kind of output you can achieve after completing this course. That kind of capability will be developed in you people after completing this course. Okay, so that is the third level of the course outcome. Then you can analyze various concepts of optics, modern physics and sound after completing this course. That is CO number 4. So these first 4 COs are related to your theory syllabus. How to achieve that, of course, that I am going to tell when we will have the assessment. Next to that, the CO5 and CO6, both these COs, they are related to the practicals. So when you will perform the practical on solar cell or Zener diode or transistor, you will achieve the course outcome number 5. And rest of the practicals, after performance of that practicals or experiments, you can achieve the CO number 6. So these are the 6 COs, course outcomes of the engineering physics course. Of course, the previous slide and this particular slide is little bit complicated for you people. So if you are having any doubt with respect to these course outcomes or NBA and all, so you can ask at this moment. Is there any doubt?
No, ma'am.
No.
No, ma'am.
So these are the course outcomes that you have to achieve by learning this particular course. Okay. Now the most important thing, like in teacher assessment, I have said that I am going to conduct the formative assessment like assignments or quizzes or presentations. And again, for practical, of course, there will be a practical submission. So the platform that we are going to use for the submission of such kind of things is the Genomio platform. Okay, this is the Moodle platform, and the site that we are going to use for this is provided on the screen. Again, in chat box I will give you the link for this. So the question that I would like to ask at this moment, have you ever used the Moodle maybe in the first semester for any of the course? Have you used that?
No, ma'am.
Genomio, it means new to you.
No, ma'am.
You people might
Yes,
have
ma'am.
used the Google Classroom. Okay.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
if this is the case, then I'll show you how the Genomio looks and what to do with that. Okay. Just a second. Okay. So first I'll put this link in the chat box so that after the lecture you people can access the site. Okay. So the link is given. Now when you will open that link, you will see such kind of page. That is the Moodle page that I have created for my course. So available courses, there are 3 courses that you can see: Engineering Physics 2021, and then Engineering Physics FYE 2021. Okay, so the first one that for you people, Engineering Physics FYE 2021. Okay, whatever are the rest courses that I have planned for the previous batches, so don't go there. So you have to click on the Engineering Physics FYE 2021. Then you will get such kind of screen. It will ask username and password, but as you are first seeing this particular site, you have to create your account. Okay, so first you people will click on the create new account. After that, one form will get appear. Here you have to put a username then you have to provide a password. That password should have 8 characters, one digit, one number, one lowercase letter, one uppercase letter, one alphanumeric character. So like if my name is Aarti, I'll put A in capital, Aarti@123. Okay, so such kind of passwords you have to fix for your Gnomio account. Okay, next you have to give your email ID, maybe Gmail ID you can provide over here. Then your first name, surname and other details you have to put over here. Okay, next create my new account, click on that button. You will get one email on the ID that you have provided over here. Basically try to give your Gmail ID, so that will be beneficial. So on Gmail you will get one email related to this Gnomio site, and one link will be there. So you have to click that link. So that will be the email verification. By clicking that link, again you will get the page, this one, and then you have to put the username and password that you have provided while filling that form. Okay, after that it will ask you to give one enrollment key. Okay, so if it asks for enrollment key, then that enrollment key is EP@123, small e small p @123. Okay, so I have given the link and enrollment key in the chat box. So after this lecture, you people are having 15 minutes time, or in the evening also, after all the lectures get completed, you can register for this particular thing. Okay, so by clicking or by making your account in the Moodle in the Gnomio site, you will get all the contents with respect to engineering physics course. Like here you can see in the announcement section, I have uploaded the syllabus of the entire first year for your reference. Then as I said, to perform the practical, of course you should have the engineering physics lab manual. So engineering physics lab manual is also uploaded on the Gnomio site. And as we are going to deal with the optics unit, the unit number 1, the notes of that unit are also provided over here. Okay, the most important thing, as I have said, that whatever other assignments, that submission we are going to do through this particular site. To give you the more details, I would like to show you the performance of the previous batch. Okay, so like for the part first, I was handling the FYB division. So for that FYB division, here you can see I have asked their practical submission through this site. Then some kinds of videos that I have shared with them, that are also uploaded over here. Then all the notes are provided over here. Then some quizzes I have planned through this platform, like this. So whenever you do some kinds of submission, so here you can see when you enroll for this, I'll get such kind of list, who are the students and your details, of course. Then after assessment, of course, the grade sheet will be there, like the student who has completed the practical one and what amount of grades he has achieved, that I can see in combination, and also you people can see your performance through that site in real time. Okay, so this is the Gnomio platform that we are going to use to while conducting this particular course. Okay, just a second. Okay. So this is the Gnomio site, link is provided and enrollment key is also provided. If you come across any kinds of difficulty, you can ask me at any moment of time, no problem. Okay. So this is related to the dissemination of COs and the introduction of curriculum of engineering physics course. Okay, so these are the contents that I want to deliver for the first lecture. If you are having any doubt up to this, you can ask this to me, or if not, we will have the roll call list. Or
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, whatever will be our assignment quizzes that we have to submit on Google Classroom, ma'am?
No, that will be through Genomio only. I'm not going to use Google Classroom. Only Genomio site I refer for the submission of practicals, assignments, and whatever notes I want to give you, whatever the study material I want to provide you, all that things will happen only through this Genomio site. So you have to, and compulsory you have to enroll for the site.
And ma'am, in case there is an error, so we can send you it on your Gmail.
See, like this Genomio I am handling for last 3 to 4 years, so I have never seen any problem from student side that they are getting error or they are having some problems to enroll for it. So such kind of things doesn't get happen over here, and that's why I prefer to use this particular site. And if some error occurs or some problem occurs for you, then of course you can have the submission through Gmail or WhatsApp, no problem. And for that thing only I have created the another group, that is EP discussion group. So that group will be there to get your assignments if some problems occurs with the site. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
मॅम गुगल क्लासरूम जास्त कन्व्हिनियंट वाटतं ना आम्हाला.
या
त्याच्यावर नाही चालणार का?
चालणार नाही असं काही नाहीये, बट दिस इज मोर कन्व्हिनियंट because what I have seen, even I have used Google Classroom for one batch, but the quizzes and their performance that I have got through Google Classroom, that was not of high convenience, and that's why I skip the Google Classroom platform. I go for the Genomio. Just you enroll over here, and if in this month or if in 15 days we see that you are having very trouble to access this particular platform, then of course we will switch to the Google Classroom, no problem. Okay, but I think first try for this, and then we will see what to do.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. So
Okay.
very quick, we will have the roll call for our first lecture. So roll number 501, Pandre Pranali.
Yes, ma'am. Present.
Roll number 2, Pandit Vaibhav. Paralkar
He
Kedar.
just left, ma'am.
Present, ma'am.
Okay, I'll put his attendance because this is our first lecture. I don't want to have such kind of things. Roll number 3,
Present, ma'am.
4,
Yes, ma'am.
5,
Present, ma'am.
6,
Present, ma'am.
7,
प्रेझेंट मॅम.
8,
Present, ma'am.
9,
Present, ma'am.
10,
Yes, ma'am.
11,
Present, ma'am.
12.
Ma'am, he has put his attendance in chat box.
Okay. 13,
Present, ma'am.
14,
Present, ma'am.
15,
Present, ma'am.
16, 17,
प्रेझेंट मॅम.
18,
Present, ma'am.
19,
Present, ma'am.
20,
Present, ma'am.
21,
Present, ma'am.
22,
Present, ma'am.
23,
Present, ma'am.
24,
Present.
25,
Present, ma'am.
26,
Present, ma'am.
27,
Present, ma'am.
28.
Present, ma'am. Ma'am, yes, Shinde is also present.
Roll number? Yes, Shinde. Okay, basically I follow two systems for attendance. One, like you people have seen, another is automatic attendance that I can generate after each and every lecture. So of course comparison will be there. So try to attend all the lectures very sincerely, and in the next lecture of course we will start our unit number 1, and as you people are now having the idea that unit number 1 will be related to the optics, so you can have the study of the parts that you have covered in 11th and 12th with respect to optics, so that discussion on our syllabus will be easy for you. Okay, so that is from my side. If you want to discuss something, you can stay here, otherwise you can leave the meeting and you can attend the next class, which is at 12:15. Okay.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, can we complete our practical on the plain pages of the notebook?
Of course you can complete, but for your convenience, what we people have done, we have created the lab manual. In that lab manual, whatever is the theory portion, that is already printed, and observation tables and calculation part, you have to just complete that things. And why we have done that, to avoid the writing part from the student side. Okay, so when you will see the lab manual, you will get to know hardly you have to complete the observation table, you have to put the values in that observation table, and of course it will reduce your efforts, and the practical submission will be on time and will be within the less time. Okay, so I think that
Okay,
is more convenient for you.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, I'm getting trouble to log in that link you have provided, Genome.
Okay, so what is the problem that you can say? Those who are having problem or those who want to discuss something, you people can stay here, other people can leave the meeting because you are having break now. Yes, yes. What is the problem?
Getting trouble in enrollment, ma'am.
Okay, so I'll suggest after some time or in the evening, when you will have the time, I'll share the same link through our EP discussion group. So when you will have the free time, go for that, and whatever are the trouble, take a screenshot of that and share it with me personally, so that I can solve the problem. Okay,
Okay, ma'am.
is there any point that other student want to discuss?
मॅम म्हणजे आम्ही लॅब मॅन्युअलचं प्रिंट काढून घ्यायचं ना.
If it is possible for you people to take a printout right now, means within these 2 days you can have the printout, otherwise we will wait to get over the lockdown, we will wait for 1 week more, and after that you can have the printout and then you can have the submission.
ओके मॅम, थँक्यू मॅम.
Another thing that you can do with that lab manual is the lab manual that I have provided is the PDF copy. So if you are having the PDF editor, of course so many apps are there related to PDF editor, so directly you can edit that PDF copies and you can put your result and calculations over there, and that PDF also you can submit it to me, no problem.
ओके मॅम,
Yes,
थँक्यू मॅम.
thank you.
हॅव अ नाईस डे मॅम.
Same to you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Excuse me, ma'am.